This question is for Joe. In seasons 4 and 5, it seems like Shepard was a bit darker, more serious, more the weight of the world. And I wondered if that was a conscious choice on your part or the writer. And if it was, then why?
Remarkably true to life. No, it was a decision. I think that Joe and Paul took over the last 2 seasons, and I think they wrote a little bit darker. So I think that we ended up with something a little bit darker. When we started the show, I was trying to distinguish between SG-1 and Atlantis, and the only analogy I could come up with was like SG-1 Superman, Atlantis is Batman. And I don't know that they liked that analogy all that much. But I think toward the last 2 years we went dark, and they did some things that were pretty interesting. And I liked it. I thought it was a good choice. But I think it could have gone with a little bit of humor, always to counterbalance the darkness. And but I liked Vegas. It was a lot of fun to do, and I think it was pretty dark. We really had so many more storylines that could have been explored, so it's too bad. When you're doing these things, you don't know that it's the end. So it's not like that's the place you're trying to get to. You're just exploring things, and you hope that things evolve. Hey, we were canceled. That's how that worked out. Water, I told you. Send the water to the network. I'm totally serious.
What does he mean by sending the water to the network?
This question is for Jason. What's the funniest thing you've ever done to somebody while on set?
How many kids are here? Jason, you're on TV right now.
I don't know if I can tell them. I mean, we'll just do a PG version. I mean, no, what's not PG? I dry docked a lot of my, you know what dry docking is? Let me tell you. You go into your castmate's room, turn on that heater really high, turn off the water, and let that water go down in the toilet. Then you're real hungover. You got something brewing in you. You go ahead and leave it in that toilet. With no water. And then you leave. You shut that door and you let it just fester. Let the heat warm it up. And then you just kind of go like that. That's all I got. That's dry docking. Next question.
By the way, it was not done to me.
My question is for Paul and Rachel, and I was curious if you guys knew if there was ever going to be any future for Starcrossed, everyone's favorite sci-fi show from a documentary.
Well, I know that David is working on it, and I know that he's talked with the network about it, and I don't know. I mean, it looks positive, but thus far they haven't done anything to greenlight it. But it's still out there, and it's still in the works, and it's still very much a part of what David's hoping to pursue. And if he does it, I'm sure that both of us will be on it. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. And I just wanted to thank Jason for that, by the way.
Right?
Appreciate that.
I know the quest for knowledge is a really noble thing, and I just realized in the last 2 minutes that I could have lived the rest of my entire life not needing to know about that.
Me
too.
Sounds like you know the hallway.
I kind of think that information will come in handy one day. I appreciate you teaching me that.
Justin Hoffman, watch out.
I should have called it some category of like domestic terrorism. It really is horrible. Next question.
On a totally different note, this question is for Joe. And it seems like an Outcast, we got a little bit of the John Shepard backstory, which we didn't really get in the series. And I would imagine as an actor you had thought through some of that beforehand, and so I was just wondering.
I actually created that episode, Outcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I got paid for it, but I did create it. I'm supposed to get writing credit, but I guess I'm not Canadian or something, so they wouldn't give me credit. No, it's true. I'm being 100%. The unions are very strict in Canada, and so what I was able to take credit for was a little bit confusing. But I thought Outcast was a pretty good episode, and it was fun. It's always fun to go back to Earth and stuff. And yeah, I didn't want my dad to die. That was the only difference. I wanted him to be kind of like Christopher Lloyd, you know, and continue to like bedevil me for the rest of the series and stuff. Thought that would be a lot of fun, the creation of a character like that. But well, they killed him. So in fact, I never did a scene with the guy. I did it with his casket, and it was a good episode. I liked it, and I totally agree with you. There wasn't enough backstory being explored, and there's not much you can do except go upstairs and try to become friends with them. Get them to write backstory for you. I guess I wasn't very good at it. I don't know. So, but thanks for asking.